Yeah. Yo, Black is time. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the cat. Always want to be on the camera. And shout out to the queen, of course. Peace, queen.
Appreciate you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm tired. Long day at work all day. Just made it here in time. Got a game tonight. We got the Queen's Court after this.
Right.
Full schedule today.
Yeah, for sure.
And did you know if you were making it?
I don't think I'm gonna make it
No.
Friday.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there representing for you. And we're talking about the game in Washington against the Wizards. A bunch of
Yes. Are you
MBK
gonna make it
fans.
back for Monday?
That's the plan. I haven't figured out if I'm gonna drive to the city too, or if I'm gonna hop on a train. But that is the plan. Um, that is the plan. I should be there. My mom thinks I'm coming, so I should be there. But yeah, let's get right into it. First thing I want to do is my Knicks and Bruises injury report or injury update. RJ Barrett has been upgraded to doubtful. you know, we said the same thing last week about
Right.
Toppin, and he ended up being available, even though he
Oh,
didn't
that's good.
play. So,
Right.
who knows what it means? But if anything, if nothing else, RJ is close to returning.
Right.
So, that is definitely great news. And I did want to highlight, um, the 10 games prior to his injury,
Right.
RJ was up to 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. We were 7-3 in that stretch as well.
Yep.
So we definitely could use him if he's available. Don't think he'll come back this game. You know how Tibbs likes to make his players practice and show that they're fully 100% before they get back on the court.
Right.
But yeah, it's good news, man. He's close to being back. And shout out to Harlem Girl. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you back. Glad you made it. D&D as well. He was here early.
Shout out to
Um
the cat. He said.
but yeah, man. Randall's been cooking. Randall's been cooking. That's why I put the thumbnail with him in the chef outfit. And I guess we got deer on the menu tonight, you know.
Shout out to you and your thumbnail game.
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah, we got the Bucks. No easy task, but by any stretch.
Right.
I know you talked about it the pregame with Sim earlier. Shout out to Sim. I missed the show, so we'll touch up on that and then just talk about a couple other things.
Okay.
Anything you want to highlight from Sim show that obviously I missed. So, um, whether it was
Hmm.
matchups or things to look out for, and then I could kind of give my 2 cents in as well.
Yeah, I mean, he had Javon Carter starting, so I think he had Grimes on Drew Holiday, quickly on Grayson Allen, and so then that meant Brunson would be on Javon Carter. So we talked about those matchups. We talked about obviously Randall and Giannis, and basically also this was a good point. If we win this game, does that put the NBA on notice
I think it
that
has
we
to.
up? Yeah, yeah,
I
that
mean, I'll
we're up
start
and
right
coming.
there. I'll start right
Yeah,
there. I think
yeah,
it has
yeah,
to. I
yeah.
think it has to. 8 game win streak. Media, outside media. Not the Knicks, not us. Not the podcasters. Outside media just started to really. I saw a couple of different people talking about the Knicks after that in 8 game win streak or in the midst of it. Then obviously 5 game losing streak
Hmm.
had to temper their thoughts.
Right, right,
As did we. But the cool thing about it, in my perspective, is they didn't. I didn't see anybody really bashing us after the 5 game losing streak.
right.
And then here we are again, back at 4 game winning streak. I think the league has to take notice. I think outside media has to take notice as well. If we could go ahead and pull this one away. we've had some tight matchups against good teams. We've also had some good teams kick our butt pretty good as well.
Right.
Um, but this is going to be a true test. I think you spoke about Randall on Giannis, which obviously anybody guarding Giannis is it's a tough task. Oh, I can't even say. I mean, Randall's going to have to play the way he's been playing
Right.
to kind of even that out. I wouldn't even give Randall an edge, but if he could play Giannis even, that could be a nice stepping stone for us because I think the rest of the teams, I think we can beat the other guys out with our matchups in
Right.
particular.
And this is the thing, though. You have to. The Milwaukee coach has to be concerned about Giannis getting in foul trouble because Giannis is a two-way player. Don't get me wrong, but you try as much as you can not to have him on the opposing team's best player for the entire game. You want to play him there in spots because remember he's delivering for you offensively as well, right? And so tonight he's gonna have to do both. I'm not really worried about the matchup because Randall always gets up for Giannis. He always plays him tough defensively. Giannis is not like a knockdown shooter, and so it's basically team defense, in terms of keeping them out the key. And to the first point about the league taking notice, I don't know if this is the league, but in Sports Illustrated power rankings, the Knicks are now at 11 out of 30 teams.
I mean, or you said the league. I included the media, so
Oh, okay,
it
okay.
fits right in there. In that aspect. And shout out to them for giving us some recognition. You know,
Sherwood said Giannis will be guarding Grimes, and
hey,
Grimes might be guarding Giannis. Grimes was on Siaka. We was joking on the Just Nicking It show. We was like, Tibbs is just putting Grimes on anybody. Next thing you know, he gonna be guarding Embiid. He was on Siakam. I
he
was like,
was.
so he might be on Giannis tonight.
I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find. Shout out to Bleacher Report too, because that's probably the one spot I check daily as
Hmm.
far as just to see what's going on out there. Uh, but there was an article. I didn't read it, but I saw it. Oh, here he is. Where'd it go? Grimes. Grimes emerges as the Knicks shutdown defender, regardless of size.
Right, 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 right.
So that's, I mean, oh man, I mean, Tips spoke on that though too after the last game, and basically said even if Grimes is guarding a Siakam, it's really about the team and the team scheme. Like
Right,
we don't expect him to go out there and just shut him down or stop him.
right,
It's almost like a initial line of defense, if you will,
right, right,
and then everybody else has to collectively help and make the right reads.
right. I mean, I
Oh
will
man,
say for Giannis, you know, if his it's so hard when he's going downhill, but if you get Giannis in a half court, he could probably stay in front of him and force him to shoot over the top. He's not a great shooter. But when he's coming down the court with the ball in his hand downhill, I don't care who it is.
yeah, that's when you got to build a wall. You
Right.
got to build a wall. You can't,
Yeah. Yeah.
one guy is not going to stop him. He's too big. Um, it's too strong. I will say this though. I think we need Randall to continue his play tonight. If if he's gonna have and he's had some some bad shooting stretches,
Right.
even though his production, his points, rebounds, assists have all been pretty good as of late. He's
Hmm.
had some bad shooting nights. We need a good shooting night from him tonight. We need them to say we have to have Giannis on Julius. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or if they somehow choose not to, and they want to put Giannis on Mitchell Robinson, which I think is a slim chance, unless Lopez is out the game and
And
maybe
they go with Portis.
and Portis is in the game, then I could
Or
see
they
them
might do
doing
that.
that type of
Mhm.
switch,
They
which to
might do
me
that.
is probably more dangerous.
Randall is going to kill Portis.
I mean, I agree, but putting Giannis in the help defensive role, I think he's more valuable and could be more successful helping off of Mitchell Robinson than
That's true
him.
because Mitch
So
is
so
there. Yeah.
so that is a concern of mine. I think the longer Lopez is on the floor, the better suited we are. Granted, this is if he doesn't go off and hit
Right.
seven threes and things of that nature. But
I think. I'm sorry, guys.
no, good.
I think it's going to be a tough. You just nailed it. If Giannis is on Randall, that's tough. If he's playing off ball, that's tough because then he can come and double team. But what I was going to say is offensively, what's going to help Randall is if the other players are hitting their shots because now you can't really load up on him. But Randall, and he's been doing this, has to use those other players as well.
Yes.
Get the ball out, get it to them. They start knocking down some shots. Now you can't crowd Randall, a bit. And his one-on-one matchups, he's been he's been lights out, and he's been a willing passer as well as Brunson. They've both been willing passers, but you move the ball around, make that defense work, you can get the ball back and maybe even a better spot. You
Yeah, I
know,
was reading some comments on Bleacher Report. The Bucks just lost to the Hornets.
and
You
Giannis only
know,
had 9 points, so they're going to be ready.
and that's the thing. The comment said, "Oh, if the Hornets could beat the Bucks, so can we." I mean, theoretically, yes,
Yeah,
but like you just pointed out, Giannis had 9 points. He's gonna come out trying to score 50. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think that's the type of person he is that he's gonna, and try. But he's gonna come out looking to score, looking to have a better effort
right,
than that game, and I don't think there's any chance that he's under 10 points tonight. You know what I mean? The question is, how much can we limit him to? Can we keep him under
right,
20? Can we keep him under 30? You know what I mean? Those are
right,
all wins for me. Under
right.
30 is a win. Under 20, obviously, that's a win as well.
They're not a
Um,
great offensive team now. They're ranked 26th in the league. So they're not a really good 23rd or 26th. So they're not a really good offensive team. And the Knicks play really good defense. They're ranked third in defense. The Knicks are ranked eighth. We have
okay.
better offense than they do. However, their defense could be smothering. And when you don't move the ball, it just makes it easier for them to guard you.
Yeah. Don't sleep on that pest too, Grayson Allen. I don't like that
Yeah.
kid. Like he's one of those people. If he's on your team, you love him. If
Right.
he's not on your team, you just despise him. Um,
Right.
and that's one of my concerns is who's gonna be the guy that averages 12 that gets 30 tonight. You know what I mean? Or that
Mm,
averages 6 and gets 25.
right.
Because it seems to happen every night, win or lose. It's always somebody that outperforms with their averaging on a year. And I guess if I'm gonna guess who that might be, it would probably be Grayson Allen. You know what I mean? Somebody who's not high on the scouting report, but you
Right.
gotta keep an eye out on him. You gotta keep your mind, focused on him as well.
Right. Right.
Uh, do you have a guy that you're kind of sneaky scared of, or think
Brooke
that
Lopez.
Brooke
And
Lopez?
even though we know, about him, he can give Mitch, he can get Mitch in foul trouble. Now Mitch has to go out to the 3-point line to guard him. That opens up the lane for Giannis. And then I've seen him put the ball on the floor as well. He could do those things. He don't usually do them, but he can do those things. So um, it would be Lopez for me.
No doubt. Shout out to Paris Duggar. I'm gonna get to your super chat in 1 second because that is actually a talking point of mine. And yeah, we'll get to that in 1 second. Oh man, what was I about to say? I kind of lost it. Um, oh, I do want to shout out Knicks Nation as a whole. You know, I feel like I find a new Knicks podcast at the very least once a week. Like someone that I wasn't aware of before, and I look to see how. Oh shoot, you've been on 3 months, 5 months. What? And,
Mhm.
like, how did I not find this guy or these guys or this girl, whatever the case? So that's gonna be another segment that I want to do.
Okay.
Once a week. Um, is just highlight a new Knicks media outlet, if you will. Um, because for me, it's all love. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
um, I think they called Nixon Four.
Okay.
Maybe some of you guys are aware of them, or and maybe not. Check them out. I think they're relatively new, but I watched a couple of their videos the other day, and I like what they're doing. I like the stuff. So Nixon Four. Shout out to you guys, and yeah, I'm gonna reach out soon. Maybe get you guys on, and give you guys some exposure, some light. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do that once a week as well. Spread some love to new sports sites that I'm finding out there. So shout out to those guys. And we go right to Paris Duggar. He says, shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat. McBride will be a solid from three the next 10 games. Uh, Hopefully it's more than the next 10 games. Like let's say from here on out. Let's hope. But I do want to give McBride his props. I was a little down on him. Not that my opinion has changed much, but I was down on his shooting, saying, "Hey, he's really got to work on that in the games." Like we've seen what he's done in the G League. Obviously, he's showing something in practice, which is why he's getting the opportunities, whether he's hitting or not. But he did hit two big ones last game, so I definitely want back to back at that. I believe.
Mhm.
Um, so I want to give McBride his props for continue to shoot them. Be aggressive, not turning them down. That's one thing I will say about him. Whether he misses or not, he's not scared to take the shot. He's not gonna pass up an open look, and that is what Tibbs wants.
Mhm.
He wants you to take the shots when you're open. He's preached you could not shoot well but play well, and I have to give McBride his props in that even when he hasn't shot the ball well, he has played well. Solid defense. That's his staple. That's what keeps him on the floor, and keep it up, man. And hopefully, Paris Duggar, he's shooting good, solid from three from here on out. 35%. I'll be happy with. Um,
Mhm.
but continue to take them open ones. What have you seen from McBride recently?
The same, the same. He plays good defense. He takes the shots he's supposed to take. And, the last game they went down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think about again. Shout out to Sim when we met Clyde at Clyde's restaurant, and we asked him about Frank Ntilikina at the time.
Mhm.
What is it? What's it gonna take for Frank to kind of find his place in the league or on the team at the
Mhm.
time? And he kind of like cut us off, and it was like it's confidence. It's all about confidence,
Right,
and that's
right.
one thing that I was thinking about while I was thinking about McBride and his success is his confidence never seems to waver. Back to the point I had just made.
Yep.
Even when he's not shooting well or he hasn't made a shot, he's gonna shoot it when he's open, and that's a sign of confidence in himself. And obviously, the coaching staff is giving him confidence in giving him the playing time and the minutes. So
Mhm.
yeah, shout out to McBride. Hopefully, he can keep that up. Let's see what else do I have on my little docket here. Pardon me, my notes are on my phone and it keeps timing out. Oh yeah, RJ coming back. Obi's available. Obi should looks like Obi should be playing tonight. We had 3 days off. He's definitely had a practice or two, and Tibbs stated that was the reason why he hadn't played since
Mhm.
becoming available again. What are you looking for from Obi? Are you excited he's back? You think this? How much does this change? The 9 man rotation. Is it 10? Is Sims out? What's your thoughts on Obi's return?
Yeah. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. Um, I'm looking forward to it in the sense that the bench needs some infusion of scoring, right? Now that quickly RJ's out, quickly is in that starting lineup. The only one in that second unit that's known to score is Fournier, right? And he's just now getting his legs under him, though he played well in the 12 minutes he got. So Obi can help in that regard. He'll be playing without quickly. So but I'm okay. I feel okay with that because he's hitting the three, or at least he was before the injury. And I always said if Obi can hit the three at a good clip, now he can play in a half court offense. And it's not about now having to play with quickly because quickly is unlocking him in transition. He can hit the 3 pointer, he can play with anybody, right? And prior to the injury, he was hitting a 3 pointer at a decent clip. He should be able to play in the half court offense because remember, our pace has slowed down considerably since the beginning of the season. So, in that respect, I'm looking forward to it. The part that I'm not so looking forward to is the defense and the rebounding. So, if he's taking Sims' place, Sims only got 4 minutes the last game. I'm not sure what that was about, a little over 4 minutes. Obi's defense, his pick and roll defense, his defensive awareness has gotten a little bit better, and his rebounding is just not at the level of Sims. But Sims, you're not going to get any offense. Any offense you get from Sims is gravy. So we'll see how it works out. He was averaging 17 minutes a game prior to his injury. I don't even think he gets that much upon
Mm-mm.
his return.
No, I think it might be 10 max, and he might have to ease his way into an increase in minutes. If it's gonna be tough for him to get back to 17 minutes a game, considering where we are. Um, is Tibbs gonna give him the leeway?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? As if he never got hurt. Because I don't see it that way. I think he's gonna have to progressively earn his way back into 17 minutes or 17 plus if he can get there. Obviously, unless Randle has to miss a game for some reason,
Right.
somewhere down the line.
Correct. Right.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to his return. I'm actually thinking he'll be eased in, so I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if it's 6 minutes tonight. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get your feet back wet, get your conditioning back up. Um, unless the game is out of reach a little bit,
Right.
you know what I mean? Then we might see Tibbs grasping for straws and seeing what seeing what works.
Oh, out of reach because we're losing.
Uh, I mean, either way, I guess it could go either way. Out of reach because we're up that much,
Mhm.
or out of reach because we're losing. The thing about us being up, I think Tibbs is scarred. Especially I think he was scarred prior to us losing that game. Being up 9 points with 33 seconds, and we've seen it in before with him not taking any chances. We'd be
Mhm.
up 20, it get down to 15. All right, nope, I'm not playing no games. Timeout. Randall back in. So so
Right.
I don't
Right.
even know where that leeway comes from moving forward. Like
Right.
we're gonna have to really blow teams out consecutive games or something where Tibbs will be safe, feel a lead is safe.
But I think that's just how he play. I mean, I just think that's his philosophy. I don't even think it's that he's traumatized
No,
because
no, no. It was definitely his philosophy, But
Okay.
that game did that, like that's just all right. That's stamped it now. You know what I mean? Like that,
Okay. Okay.
like now there's no. It's gonna be
Mhm.
harder for him to
Right.
go away from his philosophy
Right.
based off of, you know what I mean, based off of that particular game.
Right.
But I agree 100%. Like he's always been that way. It could be
Yeah.
25 down to down. It could be 30 down to 25, and he's like, nope. All right, timeout. I'm not. Yeah, y'all gave up 5 points straight. You know what I mean? I'm not taking no chances. So but that's where I'm a little concerned. Like
Right.
it's about that. I don't want to say lack of trust, but I don't want to say lack of trust, but if he sees any smidgen of a defensive
Regression or
lapse,
letdown.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, he's going back with where he thinks is gonna win it. So I just feel like Obi's margin for error is not gonna be at its peak where he made it prior to the
Right.
injury. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a little bit closer to what it was like last year, or you know what I mean,
Right.
early in the year. So he's
Right.
gonna have to earn that way back up into that.
Was Obi playing during the 10-game winning streak, 8-game winning streak?
I think he played
Two of those games.
two of
Okay.
those eight.
Okay.
I think he was in the first two.
But he's been
Yeah,
watching though, so he's
yeah, because
seen
I
what we're
had
doing
asked that
defensively.
question in the
Hmm.
midst of it, like right, maybe when it was at eight, and I think Sim
Okay.
was like he played the first two because I was concerned,
Yeah.
like we won eight without him. How's you know what I mean? But
Right.
it was like
Right.
six without him,
Right.
five then the
Okay.
4 game win streak again. So yeah, I think he played in two. I'm sorry, I cut you off. You was about to say something?
I said he's been watching in terms of what we're doing defensively and rebounding, and I've seen him stay in there and rebound. So I think it's just making a concerted effort. Like if he comes back and he's not rebounding and he's leaking early, I'm gonna be like, have you been watching? What we've been doing.
You know what though? Here's what I'll say about the leaking. Um, he's the guy that does that. You know what I mean? It's not like that was a staple of our offense. Throughout every player,
Hmm.
he was the guy that kind of did that part. So I don't want that to disappear completely. It's just
Oh,
gonna
it
be.
has to.
I think it's
Think
a
about it.
fine line. I think.
Think about it. We don't look how we're playing now. Like we have our identity. Those fast break, we're not hurting for fast break points, right? But we give up a lot of second chance points. Now we did a we weren't that great. We were in bottom of the league to start the season. Then on the 8-game winning streak, we shored that up a lot.
Hmm.
Well, there's been some slippage in that area in terms of second chance points. So if Obi is playing and iHeart is not playing or Sims is not playing, who's in there? And Mitchell Robinson has been making a concerted effort to get those defensive rebounds. I don't want to hear anybody, oh, he was playing out, on the perimeter. That's why he wasn't getting the rebounds. He's playing the same way and he's getting the rebounds. He had 18 rebounds one of those
Eight
games. I don't know if
offensive,
they
10 defensive.
and 10 defensive. He's been doing a great job. So that's what we need Obi to come in and continue because if he's in, Sims is not in, right? Sims' rebounding rate per minute is higher than Obi's, I'm
Hmm.
sure. I haven't ran the stats, but I'm sure. So if he's in there, yes, we need you on the boards more than we need a fast break point. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I agree. I agree. I don't think it has to be eliminated completely, but to your point, I think if Sims is not on the floor and it's then yeah, you can't do it. You know what I mean? But if Sims is out there, if he's happened to be on the floor with Mitch, which is rare, you know what I mean? Then like those are opportunities where you could do it. If
Right.
guys like quickly are on the floor, who's a good rebounding guard, you know what I mean? Then you could do it. So I just think it's tough because you really have to choose wisely if you're gonna when you're gonna do it. I don't think that could just be like, play in and play out. I'm leaking and because yeah,
He's
we
fast enough to He's quick enough to
That is true
stay in,
too.
get the rebound, and still get up the court.
That's true too. That's true too. That's true too. Um, I missed your show. I was mad. You talked about the do
The
Knicks
All-Star.
fans?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm bringing that back on the Queen's Court though. For those
Okay.
who, yeah, I
All
will bring
right.
that
I'm
back.
gonna leave it alone then because I was like and the funny thing about that though is I felt bad myself because I'm like, oh, I think I only voted once. You know what I mean? Like
Right, right, right,
I
right.
forgot you
I
could
voted a few
vote
times a week.
every day.
Right, but it wasn't every day. And when I saw it though, I wasn't really thinking too much about the fans. I didn't really put it together till I got that email from Ajay. He was like, "I hope you're gonna talk about this on the show." I was already gonna talk about it, but he was pissed. You know,
Yeah,
um,
and we'll talk about it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on your show later because
Mhm.
I definitely got some things to say about that, and it's me pointing the finger at myself. So we gotta do better as Knicks fans. You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got. I'm gonna probably do about 15 more minutes. Give us a little break before Queen's Court.
Right now, Sherwin talked about the Devin Booker rumors. I haven't heard that. Have you heard Devin Booker rumors?
No, not not recently. Not since not in the last couple years. To be honest, like I
Right.
thought once he got the extension and Chris Paul got there and all that, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's still the CAA affiliate. He's still has the ties. He's still somebody I would be interested in if he became available.
Right.
He's still improving as a player. I love Devin Booker. Um, and he's in that age range to where he theoretically still has 10 years in the league,
Hmm.
9 years in the league. It's just the further along the line that he becomes available, the less likely I'd be willing to, you know what I mean. But if we talk about Booker to, today,
But
like
he's younger than Randall, isn't he?
yeah, yeah, that's true. Good point. Good point. But yeah, I love Devin Booker. I would definitely take him on my team. Oh man, Paris Duggar back at it with the super chat. Appreciate you. Says Obi's fast break points also come from his blocks.
But that's different. If you blocking a shot and you're running down court, that's very different than not rebounding the ball so you can leak out early.
Yeah, and I don't think I think he chooses it wisely anyway because I think a lot of times his man was already on the perimeter that he was guarding. You know what I mean? So like those are the like don't leave the paint
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and start running up court. But if you just guarded against a 3 point shot, you know what I mean, and it looks like guys are in position. Yeah, I don't mind a leak out here and there. And when you, I'm sorry, Paris, were you referring to off Obi's blocks? Like he blocks the shot and leaks, or like the just a block that we occurred? Because I just don't recall Obi blocking many shots.
Right.
Um, but I could be wrong. Shout out to Trav B Ryan, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate you for joining.
Trav.
I gotta get you on too, man. And we'll talk.
Trav, you always welcome. Queen's Court, Dope Soul,
That's a
Nicks
fact.
and Bruises, I'm sure.
Of
You
course,
always welcome.
of course. Oh, damn, keep my phone keep shutting off. I missing my little tidbits. All right, um, well, I tell you what though, this win tonight. If we get this win tonight, we could go on another nice stretch. Like we could surpass that 10 game stretch. I mean that 8 game stretch. We could potentially get a 10 game win streak in here.
Right.
She agrees.
Right.
um Anything you looking? Any concerns about today's game as far as this is a home
Huh?
game, right?
It's a home game. I mean,
Ah
just
man,
that our bench is not where I would like it to be right now with IQ in the in the starting lineup. But as somebody in the chat pointed out, um, he plays so many minutes, he'll be playing with both the first and second team anyway.
that's true. He kind of he actually has taken on. He talk about IQ, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he's taken on RJ's role like
right,
almost 100% in the sense
right,
that he's playing in RJ's spot, in his absence, but he's also playing those second unit minutes that RJ was accustomed to playing
right.
as of late, which I think was a great adjustment that Tibbs made.
Hmm.
I'm referring to RJ now, and let him kind of stabilize that second unit.
Right.
The only concern with IQ, I mean, not really a concern because it was a concern with RJ as well, is the minutes. You know what I mean? Like he don't have an opportunity to really rest.
Right.
You know.
But you know what? The minutes have been down. Shout out to Staffer. I miss you, Staffer. Um, the minutes have been under 40, I think the last two games or so. But shout out to the chat. I forgot his name. I'll shout him out on the Queen's Court. He sent me a comment to one of my videos. He went to the stats, and he said, people are complaining that the Knicks are playing a lot of minutes. Randle is averaging the most, and in the league, he's at 30. So, in other
Mm,
words, this is what everybody is doing. It's
hmm
just not the Knicks. The only one in the top 30 is Randle. I think he said Toronto has three players in the top 10,
mm.
or something like that. The bottom line is if you don't have a strong bench, you are going to have to play your starters a little more. And even with that, we have nobody. I think Randall's top 30.
My only pushback to that would be, and it's not necessarily pushback,
Mhm.
is my concern with the minutes are kind of during this stretch where Obi's been out, you know, um Brunson missed time,
Right.
RJ's been out. So I think the minutes in the condensed last 15 games will look different from the minutes of the
Overall.
entire season. You
Right.
you, you you
But
know what I
that's
mean?
by
So
necessity, though. Like,
yeah, no,
what's
no,
the
no.
alternative?
100%. 100. I mean,
you know,
there,
unless you're
there's
going to
also
lose the games.
uh, you, you're right. Tibbs, I'm letting Tibbs do his job. That's his job. You know what I mean? And if we
Because I
win,
just
I have no complaints.
I just feel like the players we have backing up. Um, I think there's some drop off obviously after the top three. You got IQ and Grimes. Then after that, it's a bigger drop off. So when you're talking about giving these guys extra, some guys are better in their roles. When you started expanding their roles, a lot of times, and I said this on the pregame, is diminishing returns. It's like, oh, this guy is giving us in 12 minutes, we getting 7 points, 5 rebounds. Let's move the minutes up to 25.
Hmm
And what do you get? 8.6 rebounds. You know what I mean? So I just think I
Too
love
much
what
opportunity.
right. I love what Sims is doing. I love what McBride is doing. I just feel like they're playing the right. Well, Sims, 4 minutes. I mean, that was a little low. But when his minutes was up to like 12, 14 minutes, I feel like that's right for about where they are right now.
No, I agree. And obviously, Sims and Hartenstein, it don't really matter if they getting 4 to 12 to whatever minute, because none of that is helping the 1, 2, or 3 spot. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not like those
Right.
guys are positionless in the sense that they can play
Right.
at the power forward or the small forward or at
Right.
the shooting guard. And that's, I mean, again, my concern was primary in
That period of time when they were getting like
that period of
45,
time,
48 minutes.
and then
I
it
hear
was
you.
always like the Brunson IQ. It was always that the guards minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Less concerned with the bigs minutes. That's gonna fluctuate. Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble. That was the Spurs game or before the
Mhm.
Spurs game. But Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble. Obviously,
Right.
Hartenstein's minutes are going to increase. Sims' minutes are
Right.
going to increase. So again, like you said, it's necessity. But I just see them numbers sometimes. And it's like, oh man, I
Yeah.
hope he's got enough energy for the next game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all
Just
in all, man, I'm happy where we at. You know what I mean? I don't want us to lose, but I don't think it'll be like the sky's falling if we don't pull this one out. Let's keep it competitive as always.
mhm.
And I think there's a good shot that we could, you know, it's so funny when we're up and the game gets close down the stretch. I'm nervous. I'm like I don't know if we could if we're gonna pull it out. But if we're down and we're coming back down the stretch, I
Mhm.
feel confident that we're gonna win the game. It's just I don't know. It's just something about this team, and I
Yeah.
guess maybe because we've seen us blow, a couple of leads and a couple of games down the stretch.
Right.
We haven't really seen us come back like we did 2 years ago, and even last year to an extent. I think last year we would come back, but not
Mhm.
pull it. Kind of like what Toronto's been doing.
Right. Right.
Fighting all the way back, but just can't pull it off at the end.
Right. Yeah,
But
I
yeah, I
really
think
like this team. But I just want to update. RJ Barrett is real close and doing well. And Tom Thibodeau says we'll see where he's at tomorrow. And Obi Toppin is available, but he's still situational. When asked if Toppin was situational tonight, Tom said he could be. He added that Toppin has progressed well in his recent workouts, but also basically said the way the team is playing is making it hard to, you know, put him right. Tom Thibodeau admits the fact the Knicks are playing well does make it more complicated to work someone like Obi Toppin back into the rotation.
yeah, it's gonna be tough, and it sucks because it feels like we have to be getting our butts kicked for him to, what I mean, for him to get that opportunity. So I mean, hopefully it's really just a conditioning thing and not, because my thing is if we keep winning, then what changes? You know what I mean? Like how does he
Right.
get out of that situational thing? And I still think it's the funniest thing in the world. If you hear situational anywhere other than from Tim's mouth, it means something different. Like
Right.
when Tim
Right.
says situational, he could be. That means like he might not play. You know?
That's what I was saying lately. I was like, I don't know what that means that your situation until there's an injury or under no situation will you be playing. Like, I don't know which one it is. But let me ask you the question in the chat too. Like, I know I want RJ Barrett back, and I know why I want RJ Barrett back. Why do we want Obi Toppin back?
I mean, at this point, I feel like our bench has suffered anyway. With IQ being removed, obviously with Obi being removed,
Mhm.
that's the majority of our bench offensive
Scoring.
production.
Yeah.
Um, the difficult part about it is Obi doesn't create his own shot. So me personally, I feel like quickly being removed from that second unit is more detrimental
Yeah, no doubt.
than anything else because not only can quickly create his own shot, but he's the guy that was finding Obi for the, what I mean, for the majority of Obi's points. Respectfully. But he can create for others as well as himself. I don't necessarily want Obi back. Let me how do I want Obi back, but he has to be on the floor with IQ or Brunson or somebody who's gonna
Get the ball
help
to him.
him, yeah, help him be effective. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like we could just give Obi the ball and say, go, you know what I mean, go get a
Right.
bucket. So
Right.
that's
I agree
where
with you.
it gets tricky
Yeah.
for me.
That I agree with you. That's what I'm looking forward to. Just getting some minutes from that from that bench unit. And if you have McBride, Quick, Fournier, Obi, and one of the bigs. Your defense is not super great with Fournier and Obi, but as long as you're a net positive, I think it's fine. I could deal with that as long as they're putting the ball in the basket more than I can with just an anemic second unit where they're playing good defense. Because you're not going to really shut, a team down. Even if you play really good defense, you're not going to shut them down. You still need to score.
I'm sorry. Is Middleton out?
Yes, Middleton is out.
Okay, it just dawned on me. I'm like, I didn't remember you saying Middleton's name when you
Yeah,
spoke about
the lineups.
the
He's
lineup.
injured. He's on one of my fantasy teams. He's been injured most of the season.
But I thought he came back and got hurt again, or he hasn't
Yes, he
played
came
before.
back and,
Oh,
and got hurt again.
okay. That's I'm like,
Something
I thought
different.
he
I think
came
it was
back.
the hand that kept him out initially. Now it's the knee.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna get up out of here. Give us a quick 13 minutes to get ready for Queen's Court. Shout out to the chat, Paris Duggar, salute. Appreciate the super
Salute.
chats. David L, Bo Ishmael. You never sent me that picture for me to post. You guys send me that picture so I can post it. I don't care. It's been a couple months, but I'll still post it. And everybody else, Ally Wise, Travi Ryan,
Hmm. Sherwin.
Drugs Only,
Drugs only
Sherwin.
was in the house.
Oh, I don't know if he was in tonight, but that's my guy. So I got
Oh.
it's for the replay. For the replay.
Okay, okay, okay. I thought I missed him.
Appreciate you guys. Queen, as
Almighty
always,
finesse.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
I
Yeah,
will
for
see
sure.
you in like 10 minutes and we
Yes. Oh,
get
and for
ready for
those
this game.
who's not gonna be on the Queen's Court, and hopefully everybody will be there. I'm doing my morning recap tomorrow morning. It might be a little later tomorrow. I got clients at 9, so probably won't go on until 10. It's either 8 or 10. So I think it'll be 10.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right. See
And
y'all on the
I
other
think I'm
side.
gonna do one more show before the week's out
Okay.
because I might not make a show Monday, and I'm pretty
There may
sure I'm
not be
gonna
a
be
show Monday
well. It might not be any shows, huh?
unless it's late,
Yeah,
right? They play at what time? It's a 3 o'clock game.
yeah, 3 o'clock.
All
But
right,
I'll
so it'll
be
be
on
over
the. I
about
think I'm gonna
5:30.
be on the
You're gonna be
road
on the
back
road.
home. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm staying the night in the city.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right.
and I gotta work next Wednesday. So
Right.
if I do 2 shows this week, it's because I know I'm not gonna be making a show next week.
Right. Ooh, yeah. I gotta think about Queen's Court.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
appreciate you guys. See y'all over at the Queen's Court. And Black is time. We out.